We got two teams that's looking to leave it all out there on the field to find out who's going to play the championship game. While other teams are going to be playing this week in a lot of different games, they may not mean much to them, but they're playing for. In some instances, they're playing for pride. A couple of folks they're looking to get wins within the conference because they haven't seen a win all season long. Well, we got a couple of games we're going to talk about in which there's a lot on the line for these two teams going to play each other this weekend. And in this other game, everyone was looking to see how things were going to happen with a quarterback that on my top 5 list of quarterbacks within the SWAC, I had this young man ranked number 2. Funny thing is, he's not going to play in this game. We're going to talk about exactly how this team is going to stack up against their opponent this week without that quarterback playing in this game right after this. You know it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's number positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing. Because they're like, Coach, what you got going on over there? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, guys. In today's show, we're going to talk about some things as far as the different championships, well, not championships, but different games we got going on this week that have championship implications as far as whichever team wins, they're going to see an opponent in the championship game. Remember, we're coming down to the wire now as far as the CIAA, the SIAC, the MEAC, and the SWAC as far as who's going to play in their championship games to see who's going to move on to play for that big prize. We know it's a big prize with the Celebration Bowl in the with the SWAC and the MEAC. The CIAA and the SIAC, you got their championships that's going to be going on, in which they will go on to play in their playoffs that they have available for them. Also, funny thing is, before we get started with this show, I got to send some kudos out there for 4 HBCUs that was ranked in the NCAA first region ranking that they did. It's on NCAA.com website, in which they had in Region 2, they had Benedict College was ranked number 1. You had, Virginia Union was ranked number 10. Fayetteville, I believe, was ranked number 7. And Fort Valley State was ranked number 9. I could have those last 3 wrong. I know for certain Benedict College was ranked number 1. But guys, like I said, go to NCAA.com, check out that new ranking that they just dropped for Division II football. So salute to them, seeing that there was 4 HBCU programs on that list that was ranked in the top 10. So I got to give them their props for that. But guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. Sticking with Division II, we're going to go ahead and talk about this game between Virginia Union and Virginia State this week, which has strong implications on whoever wins this game will see Fayetteville State in the CIAA Championship. The Virginia Union versus Virginia State game is going to be a heavyweight battle. Let me say that again. This is going to be a heavyweight battle. Why do I say this? Both teams in the conference have a 6-1 record. But what separates the two is the fact that Virginia Union is undefeated in conference play. They're 4-0. And Virginia State, they have a record of 4-1. So whoever wins this game is going to push them to go play in the CIAA Championship. But one thing that each of these teams must do, and just for me, my own personal observation, I'm looking at how Virginia State, they have a running game as well as a passing game. And Virginia Union has a very strong running game in which they got 2 running backs over there that can tote that bad boy like no other. Virginia State must make sure that they dominate this game in all 3 aspects of the game. Keep in mind, former Jackson State running back Kimani Kimo Clark is over there at Virginia State right now, leading the Spartans in rushing the ball. He's the leading rusher on the team's defense. Is definitely looking to be very stingy when it comes to those rushing yards. Jordan Davis, who's the quarterback for Virginia State, must make sure that he is precise and on point with his passes when he's throwing the ball down the field. Tyshawn Porter and Malik Hunter. Now, the rest of the Spartans receiving core, they're going to find ways to get themselves open as well as far as sitting in those different pockets within the zone defense that Virginia Union is going to have, that Virginia Union is going to run against this team. Virginia State must make sure they play mistake-free football and not turn the ball over, because Virginia Union will look to take advantage of those opportunities to play on a shortened field to continue to keep putting points on the board. Now, one thing I say is this. They got a defensive back there, Ephraim Moore, be out there looking to hunt to make sure he's able to turn the ball over, get interceptions, stripping the ball from receivers' hands to give Virginia Union extra opportunities to score points in this game. Like I stated before, the Spartans got to make sure that they protect the ball at all times, and the quarterback makes sure he's on point with his passes that he's throwing to his receivers. Now, Virginia Union, on the other hand, they got an offensive lineman in Justin Meade, who's going to be out there on that field looking to anchor his fellow offensive lineman when it comes down to them keeping their quarterback upright, as well as opening up those holes for those two running backs that they have on their team to run that ball up and down the field. Now, one thing I want everybody to remember is this. Last week, Virginia Union had 500-plus offensive yards in their game. So you already know they're going to be looking to come out and duplicate that again this week against Virginia State. So I'll say this. If Virginia State's defense does not maintain Jada Byers and Curtis Allen in this game, it's going to be lights out, because those young men are going to be running that ball hard, looking to make sure that they're able to continue to keep themselves ahead in those chains on the field, eat up clock, and put points up on the board. They're going to make sure they're looking to make sure that they're able to do just that. If they got to muddy this game up to make sure that they eat up as much clock as possible, keeping Virginia State from getting that ball back to, drive down the field to put points up on the board, they're going to look to do exactly that. So trust and believe this is going to be one knockdown, drag-out game, because implications on who's going to play in the CIAA Championship is on the line. Guys, I'll tell you this right now. I got lunch on this game. Make sure you get your comments down there below. Let me know who you got winning this game and the score prediction. I need score predictions on who you think is going to win this game. But like I stated before, Fayetteville State is going to be in this game. Fayetteville State is going to be in the championship game, the CIAA championship game, because they're undefeated. They have not lost a game in the conference, or they have not lost a game overall. So they're going to be in this game, in the CIAA championship game. So whoever wins this game between Virginia Union and Virginia State, they're going to be looking to see Fayetteville State in the championship. So like I stated before, leave your score predictions down below and let me know who you think going to win this game. But guys, don't go nowhere just yet. We still got a little bit more show to give you here, because I know the young man that I was talked about got a medical red shirt. I'm talking about none other than Andrew Body, in which that young man played one heck of a game in the very first game of the season against Prairie View A&M. I stated in the game's preview that I posted earlier in the season that whoever will win that game between Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern, they were going to come out on top in the SWAC West. Well, right now, we still don't know who's going to play FAMU in the SWAC championship, in which they got to go to the highest of 7 hills to play in that SWAC championship game. Yes, they're going to be hosting that game. So you got to give FAMU their credit, give them a round of applause. I know they catch a lot of flack, as well as Jackson State, about how they like to brag. But, FAMU let everybody know they like to brag. They brag different when it comes down to how they do things. But I'll say this. Andrew Body got injured. He got a medical red shirt. I'm hoping that young man is getting his rehab and he's healing so that he can get back out there on the field this upcoming season. Well, not this upcoming season, but next season, to get out there and start playing again. I look forward to seeing that young man doing some great stuff. He's a great person, great individual, and I enjoy having a conversation with him off the air. Like I stated to some folks before, everything ain't meant to be put out here for everybody to know. Sometimes you just got to have those conversations behind the scenes. Hey, listen, everything going to be all right. Just stay focused and keep moving forward. But I say all of that to say this. There's going to be 2 new quarterbacks in this game, because remember, Jackson State started out with a quarterback that was leading the team, and Mr. Jason Brown, early on in the season, in which head coach T.C. Taylor has decided to make a change. In the past 2 games, we've seen Jacobian Morgan lead the Tigers out onto the field to play in the past 2 games. Watching that young man last week, I got to give that young man his props. He actually got out there on the field, had one phenomenal game in which the young man threw the ball 36 times, completing 26 for 373 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Texas Southern will have quarterback QB1 Jace Wilson that's going to be starting in the place of Andrew Body. in which last week against Southern University, the young man threw the ball 23 times, completing 16 for 140, and he had 1 interception. There will be another athlete that's going to play in this game that transferred over from Jackson State. That was a receiver last year for the Jackson State Tigers, in which Quay Davis is going to be over there on the field for Texas Southern this year, in which I'm sure he, as well as everyone else, was looking to see what Andrew Body and Quay Davis was going to be able to do out there on the field in this game. Everyone got a chance to see it in the first game of the season, in which Texas Southern played against Prairie View, and in which those two young men, they had a chemistry going out there on the field that was phenomenal. But in this game here, it's going to be none other than Mr. Wilson underneath center, running the Texas Southern offense. So we're going to see exactly what type of chemistry Wilson and Quay Davis have out there on the field, because I'm sure he's going to be looking to take advantage of the Jackson State defensive backs to see if they can really cover him or not. Because, you know, he knows some of the personnel that's there, those that remain with the team. He do know some of the athletes over there, and he's going to be trying to pick on them based on their tendencies as far as with covering receivers out there on the field. So we're going to see how that's going to go. But I'll tell you this, Texas Southern last week, even though Mr. Wilson didn't throw the ball a bunch like Jacobian Morgan did for Jackson State against the opponent that they played, Ladarius Owens came out there and let everybody know just who the heck he is. It got so serious out there for that young man. Matter of fact, hey, Mr. Owens came out there and told everybody, hey, hold my beer. He was out there putting in work on folks last week, in which that young man ran the ball 36 times for 244 yards. Listen, I'm going to ask this question. Coach must have heard me speak on why in the world did he not get his young man the ball more times than having Andrew Body throw them passes down the field in that first game. Because I think that probably would have, you know, saved Body a little bit more as far as him, you know, having to throw with that arm and just being released to get out there and start playing football again, you know, a couple months earlier. But again, y'all want to hear that commentary, y'all go check that video out. I'll put that one up as well. But I'll say this, I'm going to get into it like this. Jackson State definitely can expect a heavy dose of Owens in this game, because I honestly believe Coach understands that keeping the Jackson State Tigers offense off the field with running Owens as much as they need to for him to keep them ahead of the chains, to keep moving that ball down the field, allowing them to have opportunities to just murk this game up as much as they can. If you can make this game muddy where you have Jackson State, you know, trying to fight from behind based on them not having an offensive rhythm out there on the field, and you're putting up 7s and not just 3s, hey, an upset could very well happen. I'm not saying it's going to, but I'm just saying an upset could very well happen in this game. But I would say one other thing that I did notice as well, the Jackson State Tigers defense, in which they've been stepping it up a lot more in the past couple of weeks as well, making sure that they keep their eyes on the prize, which is making sure that nothing gets outside of them on that defense. So especially at the defensive end positions. So I'm liking how they're beginning to understand the assignments that they need to take care of in the games to keep teams from beating them up on the outside. So that's going to be something else to watch as well. Not only that, but the interior defensive line has been getting nasty. They've been pushing folks around, letting them know we're going to play on your side of the ball, and we're not going to allow your quarterback or your running backs to get off in this game. So this is going to be something to watch as well with in the trenches between Texas Southern and Jackson State University. The Texas Southern University offensive lineman has done one heck of a job, because for Owens to be able to run for 244 yards in a game, you got to give him his props on that, because if there's no holes open up, what are we talking about? The offensive side of the ball for Jackson State, I'm starting to see where the linemen are beginning to gel a little bit together, a lot more than in the beginning. A good friend of mine told me that, you know, you got to give him time to gel, coach. You got to give him time to gel. And I'm starting to see, you know, where that is happening at. But I would say that the aggressiveness that, you know, I'm seeing some of these athletes begin to play with, that is something that I like as well, especially in those trenches. You can't come out there in them trenches and play like no pansy. That's just not going to work. You're going to end up getting knocked around or getting slapped around out there and end up getting sent up there in the stands, go sit with your parents, and then you're going to be upset and mad because everybody pointing and laughing at you behind because you're getting whooped out there on the field. That's not something you want to see, not from no lineman. And matter of fact, I gotta talk about some linemen. We're not gonna do it in this video, but we go get into this lineman situation in the next one though. But I'll say this: this game This game is definitely going to be won in the trenches. Jackson State would definitely look to get their running game going with J.D. Martin, Ahmad Miller, as well as Moultrie out there on the field. Now, the one thing that I did like about the Jackson State offense last week was the fact that they used the daggone tight ends. Oh my God. DJ Stevens and Hayden Hagler, they got off last week. So I was very excited about those two young men being able to catch touchdown passes in the game that they played in last week. But one thing I say is this, I was definitely looking forward to seeing Andrew Body playing this game against Jackson State because there was so much hype during the preseason about what the playmakers that Texas Southern had gotten over there within the program, as well as Quay Davis coming over there to play the receiver position, and another receiver that they had coming into the program. The young man's name slipped my mind currently, so I don't want to say somebody that's not there, but I'm just saying that looking at how things was going to, stack up for them this season, I could kind of see what the hype, I can visualize what the hype was all about and really have myself excited waiting to see this game take place. But guys, I'm going to tell you, I want everybody to leave their comment. I want you to leave your predictions down below. Let me know who you think is going to win this game. Not only that, but I want you to leave me your predictions for the first game that I spoke about earlier down below, and let me know what you thought about that game as well as your scores. You leave your scores. Whoever get the correct score, coach is going to buy you lunch on the games. Not only that, but hey, man, y'all send some shout outs and like the video as far as the new way that we're going to try and bring content to you as far as what's going on around in all of the different conferences and whatnot, because there's been so much football that I believe we may have missed this season that needs to be discussed. And I just want to get out there and make sure I continue to keep doing my part, in which I'm showing love to everybody that, deserves to get it. Showing love to everybody, period. It ain't even about deserve to get it, because all HBCUs should get it. Because one thing I want to see happen is we continue to keep uplifting the product so that people can continue to keep wanting to come invest and be a part of what's going on. But guys, Coach gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing, because I don't even want to get on my soapbox with all of that right now. But hey, don't forget, leave your predictions, leave your score predictions down below in the comments, and let me know who you think is going to win the game between Jackson State and Texas Southern, and Virginia Union University and Virginia State for the CIAA. But guys, Coach gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.